After school, Hetty was all excited. "Caddie, did you see the great big valentine Katie Hyman got? Who do you suppose sent it? There wasn't any name, but I'm sure that Tom sent it. Do you think so? Don't you think so? I'm going to tell everybody so." Caddie's heart jumped. If Hetty told, they would make Tom's life miserable. "Why, Hetty," she said gaily, putting her arm around the walking newspaper, "whatever put that in your head? You know Tom can't save a cent. Then how do you suppose he could buy the finest valentine in the store without any money?" "That's so," said Hetty. "I know. Maybe she got it for herself, just to make folks think she had a beau." Busy with this happy thought, Hetty broke into a run. Caddie walked along more slowly. She was thinking, "I do everything with Tom. I'm much more fun than Katie. Why, she's afraid of horses and snakes, and she wouldn't cross the river for worlds. I don't believe she's spoken 3 words to Tom in her life. But she's what you call a little lady, and I'm just a tomboy. Maybe there's something in this little bay lady business after all." But just then Warren caught up with her and said, "Hey, let's go coasting. All this silly Valentine sugar plum stuff." And she raced away with him, laughing, and eager to be the first one on the hill with her sled. The ever-increasing trial that the little Woodlawns had to endure this winter was turkey. How far away now seemed that autumn day when they had capered and danced, shouting, "Turkey every day! Hooray, hooray, hooray!" When the school lunches were being packed, one of the boys was sure to appear and say, Mother, what are we going to have in our bread today?" Sometimes Mrs. Woodlawn said brown sugar or jelly, but usually the answer was cold turkey, dear. "Oh, that! There's nothing nicer than turkey on bread, my child. Think of all the poor children who would be glad of a nice sandwich." Tom and Caddie and Warren had often thought of these poor children who had no turkey. Secretly they envied them. One can endure beef every day, or even salt pork. One eats it mechanically without thinking, but not turkey. No matter how disguised with onions or cabbage or sage dressing, turkey is always turkey. One day Tom made a valuable discovery. The little half-breed Hankinsons brought in buckets of parched corn to school for lunch. Now they were tired of turkey. There was nothing the Woodlawns liked better than parched corn. Undoubtedly, Tom said, the Hankinsons were the poor children Mother meant, who would be glad to have a nice turkey sandwich. The little Hankinsons looked hungrily at the beautiful slices of bread, which were the pride of Mother and Mrs. McConroy. They sniffed the delicate aroma of the roast turkey. Upon Tom's advice, Caddie made the first advances. "How would you like a piece of white bread and some turkey, Gussie?" she said to the eldest boy, holding out the sandwich temptingly. Gus's black eyes sparkled in his brown face. In all his 9 years he had never been offered a piece of white bread with turkey in it. Jerked venison they had at home, and salt pork, but his mother cooked as the Indians did, and his father was too indolent to try to teach her the white man's way of preparing food. The 2 little brothers crowded close to Gussie, and the youngest one held out his hand. "You give us parched corn," said Caddie. "We give you turkey bread." "We do," said Gussie, and the 3 little Hankinsons ran to get their pails of parched corn. After that it was easily arranged. Whenever the Woodlawns had turkey in their lunch, they traded buckets with the Hankinsons, and everyone was happy. Caddie's birthday was on February 22nd, the same as George Washington's. There was too many of the young Woodlawns for anyone to make a fuss over their birthdays. It was pleasant enough to be alive without thinking to celebrate the day on which one had begun to be so. But with Caddie it was a little different. Not at home, of course, but at school a teacher hung up a flag, and there were songs and speeches. "I know they're not for me exactly," Caddie confided to Tom, "and yet I guess I enjoy them more than George Washington does." Teacher said that President Lincoln had his birthday in February too, and Caddie wished more than ever that she had been a boy. Perhaps she could have grown up to be a president then, but now she would have to leave that to Tom or Warren. This year Miss Parker let Caddie hold the flag while the others sang. She stood straight and proud at the front of the room beside Miss Parker's desk, her eyes on the lovely stars and stripes. Mr. Lincoln's flag, the flag of the North, Caddie Woodlawn's flag. "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light." Her heart always soared with the familiar words, and seemed to break in the shower of delight on how proudly we hailed. All about her she saw the sparkle of bombs bursting in air, beautiful bombs that would not hurt anyone. She thought of Father, looking Through the barred gate at Peacock's on an English lawn, and she lifted her head, saying fiercely to herself, "I love America more than Maggie Bunn or Lida or Jane. I'm more American than all of them, because they were unkind to father in England." That ends on page 108. We'll start on page 109. Hooves in the Dark, next episode.